Actually, I disagree that the polls haven't shifted. I think some interesting things have happened if you go into the polls in detail. It's not the same 47% that might have been 2 or 3 years ago. A substantial element is, but some people have gone into the don't know or doubtful camp who were profoundly in favour of Brexit, who were independent supporters. In other words, they were yes voters in 2014, they were leave voters in 2016, and I think they started off thinking that leaving was more important than yes. That may change. Other people who were no voters in 2014 have become persuaded that independence is the way in order to continue. Inevitably, I would meet lots of those people because they're more likely to talk to me. So I think there's been a shift in the makeup of the 45, 46, 47, looks roughly where it is, right? And that's maybe what we're seeing. For example, there's quite a lot of EU citizens, who would have voted no in 2014, who would now be interested in voting yes because they recognise that something has changed. So my view is this is very fluid. I think there are lots of grounds for the SNP to be pleased, if not complacent, about what is taking place. We've been in government for 11 years, and we're about 12 to 15 to 18 points ahead in political polls. There is still very strong support for independence. When I was cutting my teeth in politics, people would remember that. Dave Hill would remember that. If you were to see a poll for independence that had 12%, you would think heaven had arrived. So this has changed, but this is has been a long game, and we won't see the outcome of it for a while yet. But I think it will move, and people will have a choice to make, and I think we should be very honest about that. And the choice is no longer. In 2014, the choice was essentially a leap in the dark, or stay as you are. Now the choice would be Brexit and all it means, or actually being able to do something which I think we understand. Membership of the EU has its meaning, and people understand it. So I think this is a different set of choices which we'll look at. Please.
You mentioned earlier the possibility of a general election in the autumn. Mike Fenwick has obviously picked up on that online, and I'm wondering if you see further bust-ups and divisions within the Tory party that might bring that about. And even if it doesn't, between now and March next year, can you see what might well happen within the Tory party?
Gosh, the things I'm asked to predict. I think a general election is as likely as anything else. I think it's probably more likely than a second vote. I think the mechanism by which it could come about would be many and varied, but one would be, a Tory leadership challenge, a change of prime minister, but a prime minister unable to command a majority in the House of Commons, in which case he then. But it's impossible to say. All of us might have said 12 months ago, Theresa May can't last another week. There she is. So I think we're almost out of predictions, except to say, I would have thought the political instability will be such that it would be difficult to go perhaps beyond the autumn or into next year without another election, but they might do. I mean, the weakness of the Labour opposition is a factor in there. The fact that if there was an election, the Tories might win it. There's been an increase in support for UKIP in the last month, up about 5%. The Tories down about 5%. That creates circumstances in which the Tories might want to avoid an election because they would find their heels being nipped in constituencies where that might make all the difference. So Labour might win that election. Its poll position in Scotland is less good than it was last year. In England it's less good, but it might just find a way through. It's impossible to say. And in those circumstances, I suppose this rounds things off. In those circumstances, our obligation in Scotland really is to look at the situation and say what is best for Scotland, for our fellow citizens, not in a partisan way, but to say what's best for our fellow citizens. If we can't and aren't staying in the EU in the immediate future, though I still hope that might happen, then the best thing is to stay in the single market and the customs union. Over the last 2 years, since we put that forward as a view, suggested either for the whole of the UK or just for Scotland, differentiated, the argument has moved towards us. So we need to keep articulating that, keep arguing it, and keep the argument moving towards us. What the outcome will be, I don't know, but we have to make sure that we're honest to what we believe, and we do believe in a more open, more connected society than we appear to be promised from elsewhere. Anyway, thank you for coming on a night like this, and no doubt we'll have a chance to talk about it again. Thank you.
So there you go. That was Mike Russell, and thanks again to Newsnet for letting me reproduce that here. Now, after having heard all of that, I think you'll understand this reaction in the Parliament from John Swinney the other day.
And my final delicate observation on the day, my last moment of unbelievable lack of self-awareness from the Conservatives was Donald Cameron telling us that what was missing from the programme for government was the First Minister's explanation of a post-Brexit vision for Scotland. We are terrified by the post-Brexit vision for Scotland because of the farce the Tory party has inflicted upon us and on this country. And for Jackson Carlaw to say that we've not tried to come forward with positive suggestions about how the UK, well, they laugh. How about continuing membership of the single market? How about continued membership of the customs union? The First Minister and Mr Russell have exhausted every conversation in Whitehall, tried to get somebody there to open their ears, to listen to something sensible. But the Tories are so divided, they're so damaged by this whole issue, they're going to take the country down with us. The Tories should be ashamed of their shocking contribution on this issue.
So there you go. That's it for this episode. Should be back next week with another one. And since the Tories are playing poker with all of our futures because of an internal party matter, I'll leave you with this song and 3 gold stars who can tell me what other song that you all know was sung by this person. Every single one of you will know it. Speak to you next time.
Bill Jackson was a poor old dub who joined the Darktown Poker Club, but cursed the day told him he would join. His money used to go like it had wings. If he held queens, someone had kings, and each night he would contribute all his coin. Then he said, I'm going to play him tight tonight. He said, there be no bobtail flushes make me bite, 'cause when I gets in there, my hands will be a peach. Well, he played him tight, but lost his pile, and Bill got peevish after a while, so he rose, looked all around, and made this speech. He said, y'all see this brand new razor? I had it sharpened just a day. Now I'm coming in there with my rules that you must follow when you play. Now keep your big bony hands on the table while you dealing, please. And don't be slipping them aces down there in between your knees. And don't be making all them funny signs like you're trying to tip off your hand, just talking American, boy, American, so's I can understand. And don't be dealing off the bottom because, ooh, that's rough. Take 5, then stop. That's enough. Now, when you bet, put up the chips because I don't like it when you shy. Then if you get busted, go on out and get something. I'm going to be here by and by. Pass them cards for me to shuffle every time before your deals. Then if anything's wrong, I must see. 'Cause I mean, you always ain't no keep playing that game according to Mr. Hoyley. You going to play this game according to me. Sitting right there in that there clan, they chanced to be a one-eyed man, and Bill kept on watching him out of the corner of his eye. 'Cause old one-eye would deal and then would cost that Bill another 5 or 10. Bill got up again, looked all around him with a sigh. He said, Lord, this is an awful shame. He said, there's someone cheating in this here game. He said, of course, it ain't no do for me to name the guy. So I'll refrain from mentioning the party's name. If I catch him cheating just once again, I'm going to take my fist and close that other eye. Now, do you see this brand new razor? I had it sharpened just a day. I'm coming in there with my own rules that you must follow when you play. Egghead, keep your hands up there while you giving them out, please. Stop putting them wildies down there between your knees. Stop making all them funny signs like you're trying to tip off your hand. Keep talking in American, big A. That's what I can understand. And don't be getting them off the bottom because I keep trying to tell you it's rough. This is the Army game. 5, halt, that's enough. Now, when you bet, let me see the reds and blues, because I don't like it when you shy. Then if you run out of gas, go get pumped up. I'm going to be here by and by. Pass them pasteboards for me to shovel every time before you deal. Let me riffle. Anything wrong, I want to see. Because, I mean, you always ain't going to keep playing the game now, according to that Mr. Hoyley. You all going to play this game according to me. Henry, if you'll break the seal on that new deck of bicycles, we'll go on from here. Yeah.